Dudley Sibley explains Bob's sleeping arrangement at Studio One, which was in the process of being converted from the nightclub The End.
At the time, we never used to call Bob Marley. We used to call him Robbie. You had the bar, then you had another little room, and then the room that Bob was staying into. So I went to the next room beside Bob. It was like a little spring bed, fold-up bed. Yeah. When he left Studio One, I got the bed, the little bed, because he never took the bed. I got the bed. If I had known things would have been like this, I'd have saved the bed.
Note that even Bob's bed has become romanticized. In certain biographies, it's described as a wooden door on concrete blocks with a mattress of 3 Crocus bags of straw. Coxon also gave Bob another gift that would prove a favourite.
A record player, a little record player, and he had a guitar. And so at nights, himself and myself used to be there for hours, listening to impressions, Mick Jagger, all kind of things, you know. We used to go down there and down the hours, for hours at night, hours.
You are a bully.
But Robbie wasn't just absorbing huge amounts of music. He was also becoming a prolific songwriter.
Robbie would be singing, making up songs on his guitar, you know, and stuff like that. Those days, he never used to strum the guitar in a ska fashion. He used to strum it in a R&B fashion.
First time I try write a song was the first time I try play the guitar. And so I can't write a song without the guitar. It just happened. It's just inspiration come true, man, you know. And you just, because I personally could write look like I could write a whole heap of tune it look like, you know, but I pick special tune for write. Because a man can think of plenty of things, you know.
And while he got the songs together, then when he feel like him had something, he would call Bonnie and Peter. I would say, hear this, you know, and he would have give the idea to them, and then they would have fill in their input, you know, and let them just go into the studio, because so that you so like make them free to do what they wanted, you know.
I'll play your favorite song, darling. We can rock it all night long, darling. 'Cause I've got to love, darling. Love, sweet love, darling. Mellow mood has got me.
B.B. Seaton.
Bob, he worked flat out, and you know, you have to give that guy credit. You know why? Because he spent time rehearsing, and when he went into the studio, he tried to get the best out of what he was doing. They used to go into the studio and record 7-10 songs a day, depends on the vibes, and it was ska in those days. So most of the music only lasted for about 2 minutes, you know, so it didn't take long for the musicians to get it.
I'll play your favorite song, darling. We can rock it all night long, darling.
Simmer Down, which we heard earlier, was the Wailers' first release on Coxon's label. It's been said that the record went on to sell 80,000 copies, but of course, accurate records don't exist from this time, so at best the figure is an estimate. A string of hits followed throughout 1963 and 1964.
Iron is hot. Open up your heart. Open up your heart. Let love come running in, darling.
Amidst the more traditional love songs, there were the songs of revolution. Bob was fascinated by the Black Power movement in America, and at the time was becoming more politically aware by the day. This track, Black Progress, shows just how much Bob was looking to radical black America for the inspiration in terms of thought, music and clothes. At this time, Bob wore an afro, and Peter Tosh wore the Black Power fist as a necklace. In fact, the very first time I met Peter Tosh, he was wearing the necklace, and Bob sported an afro.
We stop stop living on our knees and start living on our feet. Cause brother, like it take two eyes to make a pair. We won't quit till we get our share.
And there was a Black Panthers poster in the King Street shop that would open later in the decade. The writings of Pan-Africanist and father of contemporary black nationalism, Marcus Garvey, were to have a big impact on him.
Him read, you understand? And him just smoke him herb. Him love smoke him herb. You understand? And him love talk about Garvey. Love talk about Garvey. Rabbi just love Rasta. You know, Rabbi just love Rasta. But he never lacks at that time. He was a guy who comb him here and stuff like that.
I worked on job with my feet and my hand. And all the work I did was for the other man, children. We demand the right to do things for ourselves instead of bending down here and working for someone else. Yeah!
Never Willoughby has been a broadcaster in Jamaica since the 60s.
Wailers are popular, but they were not the biggest band. And I think half of that had to do with the fact that at the time, Rasta was not accepted as Rasta is accepted today. And therefore, Bob always talked about Rasta. And some people said, but I talk about Rasta, Rasta, you know what I mean? So there are some people who were sort of anti-Wailers. So Rasta boy, shut Rasta business, you know, that sort of attitude.
By 1965, the Wailers were down to the more well-known lineup, Bob, Peter and Bunny. By the end of the year, they have 5 tunes in the Jamaican top 10 at one time. Prudent as ever, Coxsone rewarded the band with a £99 bonus. A natural progression then was to start their own label. 1966 was a big year for Bob. On February the 10th, he married the Cuban-born Alfarita Anderson.
I was living in the same ghetto area in Trenchtown as Bob and the Wailers, and I was doing practical nursing at the time. And they would pass on the road that I was living to go to the studio at Coxsone's every day. I was one of their fans. During that period, they had Simmer Down, Lonesome Feeling, I'm Still Waiting, Put It On, and all of those songs. So I was one of their main fans in Jamaica. And I would stop them, you know, and say, well, hey, I can sing, you know. Give me a chance, try me out or something, you know. So they decided to take me in for an audition one day at Coxsone's studio. And it was good. And Coxsone decided to put me with a group called the Soulettes. And I was made the lead singer for the group then. And we made quite a few recordings and stage shows on the Coxsone label.
Although Rita remained married to Bob until his death, the marriage was not to be an easy one. It certainly wasn't exclusive. With no work in Jamaica and a new wife to support, Bob had to leave the following day to go to his mother in Wilmington, Delaware, where he worked the night shift in a car factory. It didn't last long, but long enough for Bob to miss the visit of the man he would later refer to as his father, Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia. Bob also managed to save enough to start his own independent label, Waylon Soul'em. What kind of man was Bob at this stage? Never Willoughby.
I was sitting in the studio one in the control room, and somebody walked past and went into the studio. I didn't see the person's face, but I saw them from the back. The person had on a khaki shirt, khaki pants, and what you call desert boots, you know, the sort of suede boots. And had a guitar, very battered looking case, and his hair half-grown locks. And for some reason, this person walking into the studio, I didn't see the face, but for some reason the person, something about the way he walked, and I went outside and asked the telephone operator, who is that in the studio? Oh, that's the guy that sings Nice Time. I said, you're joking. The song I love so much. So I asked around how I could see him. And people kept saying, he's a difficult guy, hard to talk to, and don't talk to anybody. So I said, well, I'm going to try.
B.B. Seaton.
What I can say about Bob, right? We were very close, but he's always like I wouldn't say aggressive, but he always want to act like somebody who would fight you if you said anything negative against him. But I guess that's just part of growing up, and you want to be the man in the scheme of things. Bob did a song called Put It On. I'm gonna put it on, meaning they're gonna put it on the Gaylords or any other group that was in Studio One. It meant I'm gonna put it on, meaning I'm gonna put it on the other group taking over. I'm gonna be the number one.
I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on.
And I said it wasn't selfishness, it's just people want to be the number one. And ain't nothing wrong with trying to be the number one, because that's what music is all about.